What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use Bookmap to identify support and resistance. But real quick, before we get hop into the video, as always, if you guys could, make sure to click that like as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. Comment down below if you do want more Bookmap videos in the future. But without further ado, let's hop into the video. Okay, so before we hop into the video, I am a Bookmap affiliate. So if this video does interest you or Bookmap interests you, make sure to check out the link. It is going to be the very first link down in the description. Anyway, so now showing you how to use Bookmap to identify support and resistance. So using Bookmap, you can actually add any stock and you can even add crypto. So say that, we were going into the day and we wanted to watch Nvidia. So what we could do is we could put Nvidia on this chart right here, and you want to make sure that you select the DX feed and then you want to click subscribe. So now we do have Nvidia. Let's wait for this thing to load real quick. There we go. So now if we're looking at Nvidia, basically what we are looking at is the bid is going to be this green right here, which is around 188, and the ask is going to be this red line right here, which is around 188.10 right now. Now, in order to identify possible support or resistance points, it's going to be very, very simple on Bookmap. So in order to identify resistance, what you want to look for is these yellow rectangles, the red rectangles, and the orange rectangles, whether it be to the upside or to the downside. So typically what these are, so we're looking at the red rectangle up here. Since Nvidia price is all the way down here, what these are is these are passive sellers just sitting here waiting to unload Nvidia at 188.16. Now, as we can see at 188.20, we have tons of sellers sitting here right here, again, passive sellers waiting for their order to get filled. So if Nvidia were to come up to this level right here, because as you can see, the sellers disappeared, if it was to come up to this level, we would more than likely experience some possible resistance. Now, as you can see, we dipped right down to those buyers at support, and then Nvidia came right back up from 187.90 all the way up to 188.10. So really, when I am using Bookmap, I am sitting here and trying to identify where are there a lot of buyers and where are there a lot of sellers. Bookmap does a very good job at showing this to you visually because, yeah, we can use level 2. Like, we could pull up the Nvidia level 2 right now, but as you can see, these numbers are moving super, super quick, and sometimes it can be hard to identify, okay, who's in control, where are the sellers, where are the buyers, so on and so forth. Bookmap makes it so much easier to do this. So again, we have a bunch of sellers at 188.16, again, passive sellers. And then we have some passive buyers down here at 188. So now at the same time, as you guys see, we have these red balls and we have these green balls. What the red balls are is they are aggressive sellers. So the people that were sitting here at 188, those were passive buyers. In order to break below those passive buyers, we need to have aggressive sellers. And that's exactly what these red balls are showing us. If we come down to a major area or up to a major area, the bigger the size the ball, the more aggressive the buyers or sellers are. So as we can see, Nvidia came right down to that super strong support level, and there was a bunch of aggressive buyers who pushed Nvidia below the level right into the next support point where it bounced, came up, and then came back down, and then it ripped right back up to the upside right at that resistance point. Now you can see that we have a lot of buyers right here at 188.10. So what is Nvidia doing? It's holding above the level. They pushed it. They're at the resistance point that was right there. We had the aggressive buyers push it past, aggressive buyers push it past, and then we have more resistance up here at 188.35. So in order for Nvidia to continue going higher, the aggressive buyers need to push it past this level right here. So again, you can do this on any stock that you are trading at that time. You can do it on Tesla. You can do it on Apple. If you're a crypto trader, you can look at Bitcoin and you can look at Ethereum. The way that I personally use this, however, is typically on the futures. I really like to look at the S&P futures using Bookmap. So the reason is, if we look at Nvidia, we can see that this thing is like kind of all over the place, or even Tesla. I mean, it looks really weird in my opinion. So that's why I like to look at the futures, especially because the market follows the futures. That's why I just, prefer to look at that. But anyways, with the futures, we can see that we have a lot of potential buyers back here at 42.84. Again, passive buyers. In order for us to continue cracking down, the aggressive sellers would have to surpass these buyers that are just sitting right here. Now, if we scroll back earlier in the day, you can see that looking at the S&P futures, there was a lot of buyers at this level right here. So at like 42.70 to 42.69.50, there was a lot of buyers. And as we see, as far as resistance, there really wasn't too much resistance until we got to here, and then until we got to here. So there's a lot of support right here. The S&P futures ended up dropping and getting very, very close to this level. There was not enough sellers to push the futures below these levels right here. So what ended up happening? The S&P futures ended up bouncing, going up into this sell zone right here, dipped back a little bit, right back into the next sell zone, pulled back, and then we went into the next one, pulled back. So what are we doing right now? We are setting higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So you can see that visually. And again, as we can see with the futures, there was a lot of sellers right here, but then they ended up moving their sells probably to around here or here. So the fact that they lifted those sell limit orders, that's bullish. So now looking here, you can see that we destroyed all the sellers that were sitting at this area. Aggressive buyers pushed it up, aggressive buyers pushed it up, aggressive buyers pushed it up. And then we ended up pulling back right to that support zone, made it support 1, 2. Let's continue forward, and then we never went below it. So again, I really like using Bookmap because it makes it very, very visual on where the support and resistance is. Now, the other thing that you want to keep your eye on is when we are coming up to a major area, like let's say 42.91, there's a decent amount of sellers right here. So with the passive sellers sitting here at 42.91, we want to watch and see what happens to that number as the S&P futures come up into this area and even 42.92. So if the aggressive buyers are truly there, you're going to see this 183 start dropping to like 50, 10, and then eventually disappear. Same thing up here. If there's enough aggressive buyers, you are going to see this 205 diminish, and what's going to end up happening? The aggressive buyers are going to show. You're going to see that in the size of the green ball at that point. And if this thing goes to 0, we are more than likely going to get the next leg up, which would be at 42.95. So that is how I use Bookmap to identify possible areas of support and resistance. If you guys are in the Discord server, you've heard me talk a lot about this recently, and it's been pretty spot on. Almost every time I end up saying in the server, yeah, there's a lot of buyers right here, or yeah, there's a lot of sellers right here. That's typically when we've seen a turning point in the market. For me personally, I really like using Bookmap. I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't think it would assist you guys in your trading. So again, if you guys do want more Bookmap videos, make sure to comment down below. I will definitely make more here in the near future. But as always, if you guys could, make sure to click that like as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.